Hi children, welcome back to our GK class. Today we are going through the lesson story of great empires. Here is explaining the different great empires. The first is Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia was a region between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which is now part of Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. The region's fertility and location gave rise to settlements from around 10,000 BC. Its seat was the city of Mesopotamia, which was founded around 4000 BC by the Sumerians. Here is the Mesopotamia, that region in between this Tigris and Euphrates rivers. And this region contains this region was the part of Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. Then its seat was the city of Mesopotamia, means its capital was the city of Mesopotamia. Then next is the Incas. They had a great empire that stretched 9 lakh square kilometers across South America, which included Colombia, Bolivia, and Argentina, with a capital, Cusco, in Peru. It lasted from around AD 1200 until AD 1533. The Incas were brutally repressed by the Spanish warriors in the 15th century. The vast network of roads was used by the Spanish in order to control the vast empire. Here, saying about the Incas Empire. This Incas Empire have the area of 9 lakh square kilometer. From South America, and which included the Colombia, Bolivia, Argentina, okay, with the capital, or it has the capital, that is Cusco in Peru. Then it is lasted from around AD 1200 until 1533. Okay, this Incas was repressed by the Spanish warriors, Spanish fighters. They repressed this empire, and they used the roads for developing their empire. Means the Spanish warriors used the roads of this Incas to develop that Spanish empire. Okay. Then the next is Egypt. It's an area in the Nile Valley. It is one of the world's oldest continuous civilizations. It was ruled as a single state since 3200 BC. There were 30 dynasties led by pharaohs who were kings and gods. The pyramids were built during the 4th dynasty as tombs of the pharaohs of that time. The Great Pyramid of Giza was the world's tallest building for 4000 years. Here is saying about the Egypt civilizations. Egyptian civilization, that is in an area, Egypt is an area in the Nile Valley. Okay, that is an oldest civilization, and there were, or that civilization, that empire was ruled by 30 dynasties, that is led by pharaohs. That pharaohs were the kings and gods of that civilization. They are considered, these pharaohs, as kings and gods. Okay, the pyramids were built during the 4th dynasty as tombs. They build pyramids, that pyramids for or pyramids are the tombs of the pharaohs of that time. The Great Pyramid of Giza was the world's tallest building for 4,000 years. Nowadays, we know that many other buildings are there. Okay, many other tallest buildings. The next is the British. The British formed one of the greatest empires in the recorded history. At the beginning of 20th century, about a quarter of the world's people lived under the British rule. They had been expanding the empire since 15th century, and by 19th century its land included South Africa, Kenya, Egypt, Hong Kong, India, Iraq, Australia, New Zealand and many other countries. Here saying about the British Empire. This British Empire was one of the greatest empires in the recorded history. And at the beginning of the 20th century, about a quarter of the world's people, means ലോകത്തിലെ തന്നെ ഒരു കാൽഭാഗം ജനങ്ങളും അണ്ടർ ദ ബ്രിട്ടീഷ് റൂളിലായിരുന്നു. രാജ്യങ്ങളും ബ്രിട്ടീഷ് ഭരണത്തിൻ്റെ കീഴിലായിരുന്നു. ഓക്കെ, ദേ ഹാഡ് ബീൻ എക്സ്പാൻഡിങ് ദർ എംപയർ since 50th century. From 50th century onwards, they are expanding their empire, and up to 19th century they continued that. Its land included South Africa, Kenya, Egypt, Hong Kong, India, Iraq, Australia, New Zealand and many other countries. Okay, all these countries, without this many other countries are there. All these famous countries also with under the rules of this British. The next is Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was formed around 31 BC under the leadership of Caesar Augustus. It was the most powerful empire of the world. By the time of 2nd century AD, Rome had colonies which stretched from the Middle East to Spain and from Great Britain to North Africa. This Roman Empire was formed around 31 BC under the leadership of Caesar. Yes, we heard about Caesar. Then under the Emperor Caesar, the Roman Empire was formed, and it was most powerful empire of the world. By the time of 2nd century AD, Rome had colonies, that colonies from the Middle East to Spain and from Great Britain to North Africa. That much stretched area it have, that Roman Empire have. And the next is the Mayan. The Mayan people developed the world's greatest civilization between AD 250 and AD 900. By AD 200, they had developed cities which contained palaces, temples, plazas and ball courts. The Mayan Empire was stretched across southern Mexico and northern Central America. These structures show that the Mayans had a great knowledge of mathematics. After AD 900, the civilization declined rapidly for unknown reasons. Here is saying about the Mayan civilization. The Mayan civilization that was developed, the world's greatest civilization. Okay, they developed the cities which contained palaces, temples, plazas and ball courts. The Mayan Empire stretched their area across southern Mexico and northern Central America. from southern Mexico to northern Central America, up to northern Central America. These structures shows that the Mayans had a great knowledge of mathematics. The buildings, the structures, these structures shows the great knowledge of mathematics. Okay, the Mayans great knowledge of mathematics showing these structures. After 900 AD 900, the civilization declined rapidly, or the ആ ഒരു സംസ്കാരം സിവിലൈസേഷൻ ഡിക്ലൈൻഡ് ബൈ അൺനോൺ റീസൺസ് മീൻസ് അറിയപ്പെടാത്ത കാരണങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ട് ആ സിവിലൈസേഷൻ നശിച്ചു പോയി. ദെൻ നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഈസ് China. It is believed that China was one of the world's first places where people are known to have lived. A number of dynasties ruled the Chinese Empire, starting with the Qin dynasty. During this course of time, the Great Wall of China was built with the aim to keep invaders out. China was an extremely learned civilization, ahead of Europe both in arts and science by up to 200 years. It is believed that China was one of the world's first places where people are known to have lived. Okay, China had the first place. Then a number of dynasties ruled the Chinese Empire, starting with the Qin dynasty. Means രാജവംശത്തിൽ the first dynasty was the Qin dynasty. That Chinese Empire starts with this Qin dynasty. During the course of time, during this time they built the Great Wall of China. What was the aim of that? To keep the invaders out. Means defenders to defend the invaders. Okay. Then China was an extremely learned civilization, means highly cultured civilization before Europe, both in arts and science. Not only in arts, science also, they are the highly cultured civilization around or about 200 years. Okay, these are the different civilizations explaining in this lesson. You all read it very well, then try to find out the answer. I will give the notes. Okay, bye.